Well, hello everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back and I have an interesting video for you. Today you can see that I have a Fancy Feast stove filled with alcohol, and next to it I have the Stanley Basecamp Cookset, which holds 3 liters of water. I had some private messages come through where people were asking if the Fancy Feast stove would support this cookset, as well as will it boil the water. So we're going to stay tuned in this video. We're going to find out. I hope you enjoy the video. First thing I need to do is I need to get rid of all the content that is in this set. And I'm going to look at the pot supports of this stove, and the reason I call it stove because it is a stove. A burner is something that will not support a pot on its own, but a stove will. So let me lower this tripod down a little bit without shaking you guys up too much. We're going to take a look at this right quick, and I'm going to show you that the Fancy Feast stove does have plenty of strength to hold this pot. And I have no doubt in my mind that I can fill this up to the 3-liter mark, and absolutely this stove will hold this pot. Now, that's what we heard just a second ago. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up this stove. Let's get it going, and I'm going to fill up this cookset all the way to the 3-liter mark. And before I fill it up the rest of the way, I'm going to go ahead and set it on the stove here. Get the boiling process started, and I'll continue filling up the water. Now I'm also going to start this timer here in the back. Hopefully you can see that in the back. So let me raise this back up for you guys. I have a timer way back there in the back, and I'm going to let this video run for the most part in real time so you guys can see exactly what's going on. So I'm going to fill the water up to this mark right here. This will be 3 liters of water. The stove is definitely going to get tested today, without a doubt. 3 liters is almost a gallon. That's a lot of water. And this jug that I have, this is room temperature water. So there you have it, folks. We are at the 3-liter mark, full of water. We are approximately 1 minute in. I'll go ahead and cover it, and everything feels okay. Let's go back down. Let's take a look very carefully here at the stove down there and see what it looks like. What kind of flames are we dealing with? And it looks like, from my point of view here, it looks like we have some pretty good flame coverage on the bottom of the pot. You can see that right there real well. So we're just going to let this baby burn and cook, let it go, and hopefully we'll get that water boiled. This is going to be a fun video. You can see the timer in the back. We are already almost 2 minutes in. The test has just begun, folks. We have a long ways to go before this is set. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And I'm just going to patiently wait every once in a while, I'm gonna periodically look down at the stove down there. I can see the bottom of the pot has some condensation down there. It looks like the pot is not straight, so I'm going to move it just slightly. There we go. And we will let that thing run. I will leave the timer going, and I will cut in and out from time to time to let you guys know how this progress is going. We have just hit the 5-minute mark, and let's take a look and see what we got going on. Very light bubbles down there, not much at all. Side of the pot is still kind of room temperature, and if you look, you can see the condensation building up on the bottom side here of this pot. Here we are at the 10-minute mark. Now these vent holes, I can feel a little bit of warmth coming out of them. Not hot like as if the water was boiling. If I feel the sides of the pot, in fact I have a temperature gauge here. If I read the side of the pot, it's 87 degrees. The top is 79, 80 degrees. And the bottom was like 300 and something degrees. So let's take a look, and let's look inside, see what we got going on. Now just for the record, I want you guys to know that I'm only taking the top off every 5 minutes. So we got light bubbles down there. So we'll check back in at the 15-minute mark. Okay, we are approaching the 15-minute mark, and I'm looking at the underside, and the condensation on the bottom of the pan is going away. It's almost dry, and there's a mild discoloration at the bottom of the pan. I'm starting to notice that the very bottom of the pan is hotter, and it gets a little cooler as it gets to the top, and the lid is starting to show some temperature. And let's take a look inside and see what's going on now. What is it looking like? We're getting a little bit more bubbles, very light boil. I'm seeing some movement of the water, and we will come back and check at the 20-minute mark. We are at 20 minutes. I'm getting more heat. Everything's getting hotter. And looking inside, the bubbles don't look much different. Everything's still looking good. The bottom of the pot is completely dry, and it's taken a little bit of discoloration. And I will check in at 25 minutes unless something happens where I need to cut back in. Okay, we're approaching the 25-minute mark. I'm starting to notice more heat up in this top area. I'm seeing a very light steam come out. And looking at the bottom, you can see that I'm still burning. Everything's good. The bottom is dry. And the heat distribution of this stove is great. I haven't had any issues with the stove doing anything crazy. There's some nice steam coming off. You can see condensation on the lid now, and you can see the steam. So let's put that lid back on. I don't want to lose any of that heat that we've already built. And I'll check back in. And just for the record, to let you guys know, the Fancy Feast cat food cans are 3-ounce cans. So we're doing this whole test on 3 ounces of fuel. We are now approaching 30 minutes. Now when this clock was at 29 minutes and 30 seconds, I started hearing these boiling sounds. I'm looking down at the flames. We still have plenty of horsepower going on that burner. So I'm going to lift the lid real quick and I'm going to put it right back. Looks like the bubbles are kind of gone, but we're getting a lot of steam and we are close to a boil. Now, just out of curiosity, what I want to do is, I've got a piece of wood over here. I want to move this off of the heat for just a quick second. I want to check the fuel level, and we still have a little bit of fuel. So let me go ahead and put this right back down. I didn't mess it up too much, and we will check back next time something's going on. We are just at 31 minutes almost. We are approaching the 35-minute mark. I'm hearing the water boiling sound getting louder. We are still having a beautiful flame down below. And once again, I'm going to take a look. Everything is getting hotter on the top. And when I grab this handle, I can feel movement like we might be boiling. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think we're, yeah, well, look at that. We have a light boil. That is crazy. 35 minutes. That is nuts. Who would have thought that a little old Fancy Feast stove on 3 ounces of fuel could boil 3 liters of water? That is crazy. We're 36 minutes in. Almost. Okay, we're approaching the 38-minute mark, and I thought that this was something worth noting. You can see there's a lot of steam coming out of the pot. A lot. We're getting a lot of steam. We're getting the pots rocking and rolling. We have a heavy boil. We just hit 38 minutes and we are still on the original fuel. So I would say that this is a success in under 40 minutes. So what I want to do now is I want to take a look at the fuel consumption. I'm going to go ahead and stop the timer because 38.5 minutes, I mean, we had a rock and roll and boil. And I'm just curious, how much fuel do we have left? You know, honestly, I'm thinking that we're probably just about out. So let's go ahead and take this pot off. Let's take a look down there at the stove. And let me get this cup here. I'll put this out, put this stove out real quick. And then what we'll do is we'll look and see how much fuel we had left in there. So you can see down inside there we had a little bit of fuel. That just blows me away. We still had some fuel. That is crazy. Now, just for the fun of the video, I'm going to fire this back up and put the thing back on, and let's see what happens. Just out of curiosity. Let me set this baby back on. Sounds like we're already back to a boil. Let's turn the time back on since we're using the stove. Look at that, water came right back to a boil right away. And I'm just curious how long this amount of fuel will run. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera off, and when the thing runs out, I'll let you know. And this has been my view from my chair. That's pretty crazy. Look at the steam just coming off of that pot. And we still have a very strong flame. Let's Get a little closer and take a look at that. The bottom of the pan. And again, this is 3 ounces of fuel. That's just crazy. And this ain't no light boil either. This is a hard rolling boil. I mean, it is boiling like crazy. Heavy duty. Well, folks, surprisingly, we are approaching 45 minutes. And I am just blown away that this thing is still working. And to be completely honest with you, that thing looks like it's just about to die. So I'll put it out and we'll look down inside. I'll go ahead and stop the time. We had 45 minutes and 17 seconds when I stopped the time. And let's look down in there. We are pretty dry, so I think 45 minutes is a good estimate that these stoves will do. Yeah, there's not any fuel left in the bottom, so it was just burning what was left in the wick, I believe. So wow, what an amazing video today. That was crazy. 3 liters of water on a Fancy Feast stove using the Stanley Basecamp Cookset. That was a lot of fun. Now, just for the record, again, this Fancy Feast container holds 3 ounces of fuel. Now, you have to cut the tomato paste can down to get it to fit in there. So we know that we had 45 minutes of runtime out of this. If you want something that will put out probably longer run times, and I haven't tested this fully, but you can look at a Vienna sausage can with a tomato case can. The full tomato paste can, you don't even have to cut it. You just put the holes for the fuel. And the Vienna sausages, I think, is 5 or 6 ounces. But that is a lot of fuel, and that would give you a lot more run time. The stove itself would be a little bit taller, but gosh, that's crazy. So I'm going to grab my phone real quick, just out of curiosity. I'm going to look up the Vienna sausages, and I'm going to find out how many ounces those cans are. So bear with me here. Vienna sausage cans, let's see here, 4.6 ounce cans. So we would get 1.5 ounces more, roughly, of fuel. So from 3 ounces up to 4.5 ounces, roughly. So that's crazy. So what could our runtime be then? Maybe an hour? I don't know. But anyway, folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing this. These are fun videos. If you look at the water level on the line there, let me see if I can get you a better view of that. Just through boiling alone, you can see that our level has came down a little bit, because when I started the water, it was right on that line. So we're down by, I don't know, 1/16, maybe 1/8 of an inch, something crazy. So anyway, folks, again, I want to say thank you for joining us today. I hope you got some good, useful information out of this video. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. Like this video. Please like this video. Share this video. And if you like the type of content that you see on my channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you. And until next time, folks, thanks again for watching. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Now, all of these containers behind me, you know, we've got the zebra pot here. We've got the Stanley Camp Cookset. We've got the, what do they call that? Cook and store kit, the prep and cook set. All of those, now that we know that we've tested the big one, the Basecamp Cookset, we know that all of those can come to a boil easily with the small Fancy Feast stove. That's just amazing. Thanks for watching. God bless. Love y'all. Bye-bye. And there is a quick glimpse of the bottom of the pot. This is the discoloration that comes from using that stove. The fuel that I used today in this video was 91% isopropyl alcohol. This stuff right here. Sometimes I mix this equal parts with heat, and I'm not sure if this was a mixed blend or if this was 91%. But there's a look at the pan. Pretty crazy. It's like a coating.